am the Antichrist, I am an anarchist. I think those are the lyrics, I've got no idea. I am the walrus. And as of right now, as I am stood here on Monday morning, I am still your reigning and defending Cultaholic Heavyweight Champion, because at Survivor Series 2019 there were some unannounced matches, and because myself and Tom predicted those results live on the reactions, which will be going out on Tuesday evening, we're going to keep the winner of the predictions competition a secret until the video goes live. Oh my god, the suspense. But I don't know if I'm still drunk from the Cultaholic Christmas party, but I thought Friday Night SmackDown was fun with a capital F, guys. The women's match at the start of the show was fun. The men's tag team match with Otis cleaning house. The crowd was going radio rental, weren't they? That was fun as well. And then things just got way more fun when Fun Time Paul himself arrived on a tank. In WWE, that thing's a tank, remember? In an idea that was so funny, it was clear that it worked so much better on paper than it did in practice. But I guess we should mention this, since the show is called WTF Moments, this was a night of really infuriating commercial breaks. Something is building. It's about to kick off. Oh, commercials. What's going on there? Let's get cracking with the moments. WTF! WTF! Dem nips. Are they in the arena where DX tried to invade WCW? No, but it does look like it, so I do enjoy that callback to that thing that happened all the way back in 1998, fam, bare time ago, fam. But WWE, you need to calm down with this long-term, nuanced storytelling with historical context. You're just not ignoring anymore, otherwise you might get a nosebleed. What's happened? In fact, WWE, I hope you bleed to death from all the nosebleeds you will get with this long-term, nuanced storytelling. It's fantastic stuff. Rain on me, nosebleeds. Rain on me. What am I saying? Sasha Banks has employees. And I didn't realise those really cool guys' nicknames WWE give their superstars were actually literal. That must have actually been Roman Reigns we saw on SmackDown last week. Why did I bring that up? Oh. And next up we have the realisation that there is Sarah Logan on our television screens for the first time since Moses parted the waves. That's right, boys and girls, Sarah Logan was there when Moses was parting the waves. She was stood in the background asking Moses' best friend and fellow beard enthusiast Daniel Bryan if he liked gay meat. Yes, that SmackDown promo is still fantastic. Never forget about that SmackDown promo. But in all seriousness, Sarah Logan's last televised match on a proper show, nobody watches main event, do they? Was on the July 8th episode of Monday Night Raw, where she lost to Bayley in that Beat the Clock Challenge match, and that is a long bloody time ago when Moses did the thing. And also, a quick reminder right now that Brock Lesnar moved from Friday Night SmackDown to Monday Night Raw because Ronald Mysterious is exclusive to Raw and exclusive to the USA Network. He's a Raw superstar, so he can't appear on Fox. But the question has to be asked right now, did Toni Storm get lost? As far as I could see, which of course isn't very far, I'm only 5'10" and things get in the way. There was no reference to Toni Storm being on the Women's Survivor Series team at all before Friday Night SmackDown. It's almost as if WWE are ashamed to have Toni Storm there, so much so they didn't big it up at all. I mean, of course they are. Toni Storm is an NXT UK lady, and as we all know, judging off what we saw on past Raw and SmackDown episodes, NXT UK superstars are not real WWE superstars, are they? They're less than. They're pathetic. They're jokes. That's what they're telling us, not my personal opinion, of course. This was the weirdest and most underwhelming reveal ever. I mean, I'm happy to see Toni Storm there. She's fantastic. But still, it was weird. Is this the point of the video where I'm supposed to hold up a sign about that fella there where it says the word virgin or creep? Him there, though. Him, not me. Not me. Oh. But I was left asking, why the hell would you sit down in your bedroom and think, oh, I'll take a sign to a wrestling show when I'm out in public and other human beings can see me that says that there? And of course, apologies to that bloke if this is a reference I'm not quite understanding, but it doesn't look like one, does it? So Charlotte pushes Sasha Banks into Nikki Cross. Sasha hits Nikki's legs and they both fall down. Is that a song? I don't know. Sasha Banks then gets back up and shouts right in Nikki Cross's face, "How, Nikki, you bastard?" She didn't say that, but she did say, "You got in my way." In the way of you hitting £20,000 worth, not money, weight, £20,000 worth of massive hard steel steps, Sasha, you big blue numpty. You should be thanking Nikki, for Christ's sake. I would rather take a big old shot to the legs than a shot to £20,000 hard steel steps, man. If I was to tell you one thing I did not expect to see when I flicked on Friday Night SmackDown, I would have told you about big, badass, powerful, hard as piss Pete Dunne's bigger sister Rhea Ripley standing there taunting the superstars of SmackDown by going, "Nah, nah, 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 nah." Kids do that, man, Rhea, not people who have their own, let me get this right, brutality! Is that how it goes? I don't know. Whoa! She's got all the moves. So as we all know, Sunday at Survivor Series is all about the battle for brand supremacy, which of course is the most important thing to happen ever in the history of the world ever. But just 2 days ahead of the battle for brand supremacy, guys. Don't know what happened there. Big bully bastard Baron Corbin stands there and says, "Hey lads, I'm going to let the superstars of both Raw and NXT roll into the ring, let them beat the piss out of Roman Reigns, Shorty G and Ali, and then when they're done and they're gone, we're going to roll in the ring and then we're going to beat the piss out of Roman Reigns, Shorty G and Ali," even though those three men are on big bully bastard Baron Corbin's team in the battle for brand supremacy. And I realised at this moment that big bully bastard Baron Corbin is not taking this thing that we all care about so deeply very seriously at all, is he? It's almost as if big bully bastard Baron Corbin himself is the cleverest boy in all of WWE, because he realises that nobody outside of WWE actually cares who wins between Raw and SmackDown and NXT. Clever Corbin.
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
So mere seconds after we heard about big bully bastard Baron Corbin's dastardly master plan, we heard Corey Graves ask about, can Team SmackDown remain a cohesive unit? And after hearing big bully bastard Baron Corbin's plan to have Roman Reigns, Ali and Shorty G killed, I'd probably say no, Corey. But as I was sat here on Monday morning watching SmackDown, thinking about Corey Graves' brand of commentary in WWE and how he just belittles people who share a desk with him, and how he doesn't give the people he shares a desk with an inch, he just buries them so he looks good even though it doesn't benefit the show whatsoever, I thought I'd write myself a statement I'll read out now. Just for the record, guys, I know you wouldn't know it, but there's actually a WWE Hall of Famer and a former Ring of Honor champion on commentary in NXT. I'd imagine they'd have a lot more to offer on SmackDown instead of Corey Graves. And next up we have a direct quote from Bayley when she said, "I am the only woman in this match that has held the Raw, SmackDown, NXT and the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions." And I cannot have been the only person in the world at this moment picturing Bayley cradling Becky Lynch, Shayna Baszler, herself and the Kabuki Warriors in her arms like little babies. I mean, that's what she meant, wasn't it? Out with the old that AEW's Cody Rhodes brought into WWE and in with the new. Nah, of course, I'm just having a bit of a laugh with you. We're all like having a laugh, don't we? That's not why they did it, was it? It can't have been. Surely that was not the reason they brought in a new Intercontinental Championship when they did. But why did they? But I am conflicted because that brand new Intercontinental Championship is absolutely bloody glorious. But the old one, that was also bloody glorious. And the old one had decades of history attached to its design. I'm really confused as to why they would do this thing now. Many things need changed in WWE. I'm sure they would even admit that themselves. But one thing that did not need to be changed was the Intercontinental Championship. But they have done. But it looks wonderful in its new form. So good for them. I don't know what to think.
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
And next up we have Corey Graves claiming that Big E has the decided experience advantage over Roddy Strong. And even though this is absolutely true from Corey Graves, we're forever being told that people like Ricochet are inexperienced and young and up and coming, young, hung and full of cum. Of course I was going to say that. But people like Ricochet are young because they've only been in WWE for a couple of years, even though people like Ricochet have been wrestling all the way back since people like the Arctic Monkeys were actually good. And of course with Big E being in WWE longer than Roddy Strong has, I was shocked to hear Corey Graves take the stance he did. Consistency, that's the key to it all. That's what they say, isn't it? Why don't we find it in WWE, yeah?
Made a grave mistake, Corey.
Direct quote from Corey Graves now when he said, "I'm talking basic human manners, Cole. You don't interrupt a grown man when they're talking." Unless it's Mauro Ranallo. When Mauro Ranallo is doing his job as the lead play-by-play announcer of NXT, Corey. He was just doing his job, you absolute arsehole. I hope more's released on this story and we have confirmation about Mauro's situation. That'll cover more in the Survivor Series WTF Moments tomorrow. Bloody hell. Now the very sound of Bray Wyatt's name on Friday Night SmackDown made me think about something I saw on the Twitter machine over the weekend. Why the hell are WWE charging $100 for a severed Rob Zombie head? Edge's 2002 theme wasn't even that bad, man. Dun 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 dun. Look at Roman's face there, man. His pad, it was on the floor. He punched the pad on the floor. He was waiting for his pyro to go off, but there was nout. Kevin Dunn, you should have hit the bloody button. That was sort of tied to Michael Caine in the Italian Job, but it didn't quite work, did it? Kevin, who I'm presuming is in charge of this stuff, even though he probably isn't. But he's the only face we know about production in WWE, so all the blame is getting put on his big toothy doorstep. He tried to save the entire situation by hitting Roman's pyro when the big dog was doing his big pose on the Brett rope. But that didn't work, did it, Kev? And next up, we've got to make it a WTF moment. Big baldy bastard Baron Corbin wins a match with a deep six. It was a beautiful deep six, but he won a match with a deep six. And I can only remember this happening once before. Don't ask me when, I've got no idea, but I do remember it happening. So it happening for a second time perhaps has got to be a WTF moment. But this is also a WTF moment because this moment, in my hacky eyes, saw the return of the hometown hero Ali being blighted by the curse of the hometown hero. Let's embarrass the dickheads in front of their family and their friends. Ha ha! Vince probably used to say back in the day. But it's been a while since we've seen this, hasn't it? But it came back, so WTF. So first of all, if Roman Reigns does a massive big thing at the start of the show saying, "Hey fellow superstars, we're going to open the doors up, we're going to welcome the superstars of Raw and NXT into our home because we're lovely people." If he's doing that at the start of the show, coming in through the crowd like you do there makes you look like a massive numpty. You try to be cool and badass when you don't have to try to be cool and badass because Roman Reigns, he opened the doors for you. And if there's one person, of course, who tries to be cool when he doesn't have to be trying to be cool, I bet that was Seth Rollins' idea, wasn't it? And then we have to make it a WTF moment as well. Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, actual, I know you said blood brothers there, not blood brothers, brothers. They're fighting because of reasons. It's been said to death over the last few weeks, but nobody cares about the battle for brand supremacy outside of the people who actually work for WWE. It's certainly not worth losing pals over. Roman and Seth, man. Get your act together, will you? And then we cut to this wonderful scene here, and I absolutely pissed my pants laughing, I did. I've had to change them and everything. There's so much piss. It is absolutely fantastic. It is professional wrestling. It's stupid. It's pantomime theatre in the best way. Not like Baron Corbin in the dog way. In a good way. But you've got to question just how small Triple H's Willie actually is. Yeah, let's get in a tanker. In WWE, remember? That's a tank, isn't it? Yes, it is. And let's storm the arena, ha! Even though only a few of us, ha, can only fit in the tank, ha! So the rest of the roster has to walk alongside down the sides of the tank. Now, of course, since the NXT roster are storming the arena, I was just picturing the NXT roster meeting up with Triple H and Shawn and Leo Rush, I think it is, whoever else is inside that tank, that is definitely a tank, meeting up in Chicago on the corner of a street and saying, yeah, let's go, boys. And then that tank having to travel at like 2 miles an hour so everyone else down the sides could keep up. Just imagine that sight going down the streets of Chicago. It's absolutely fantastic. It's an idea that worked better on paper than it does on practice, but who cares? It's hilarious. Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men. Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men. Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men. But why did the show cut off when it did? God, it was an anticlimax. It was good, but I wanted more. But it just went. Oh. And that's it for all the WTF moments from Friday Night SmackDown. Of course, myself and Tom Campbell's reactions from Survivor Series 2019 will be on this channel Tuesday evening. I do believe the plan is. Survivor Series 2019 WTF will also be on the channel on Tuesday at some point. It's all systems go here. Get in! Come on! I am still drunk. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think in the comments below. You can follow us on Twitter at Cultaholic. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. And if you enjoy what we do here at Cultaholic, you can pledge to our Patreon page, patreon.com/Cultaholic. Hit subscribe and join us.